And I'm live. Hello, McFly. Let me try and get all this up and running. Will anyone turn up? You never know. Come on. Takes a while for YouTube to sync and should give me a link in XSplit. Could take up to a minute before it'll show up that I'm actually live, at least on my homepage. Oh no, ha! Doll. I've got to. Silly me. I know what I'm doing. I'm a YouTube professional. There we go. Live Q&A. Ta-da! There it is. All right, I am just going to announce this to my various universes. So I'm live now for a Q&A. This will go to the Twitteries. And I'm live now for a Q&A. This will go to the Facebookies. So bear with me for a minute for those who are already here. There we go. And because I'm feeling very generous, I will post it to my main channel, which is the community tab.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Oh, shut up. I'm live now for a Q&A on my second channel. All right, post, visibility, public. Yep. Will that work? Yes, there we go. All right, so everyone should have been alerted, including my main channel people, because I know a lot of main channel people just don't subscribe to the second channel, but I figure the second channel is probably better to put the Q&A on. Let me know in the comments. Let me just live chat. I'll just pop out the chat. And so let me know. Oh, what I need is now here's where I need to bloody YouTube accounts. Now I need to switch to my EEVblog 2 account. Otherwise, I won't have control over my own live feed. And that would suck. So, here we go. Top chat, live chat, pop out chat. Ta-da! I did it. I'm a genius. How do I like... There is a way to dock, like half dock. How do you half dock a window like this, like dock it to like half a screen or something like that? I know there's a way to do it. Yes, welcome. It welcomed myself, did it? Hi from sunny Florida. Better from the second channel, you think, Fernando. I could launch into an ABBA song there, but I won't. I won't dare inflict that on. Drag it to the side, do you? Right, yeah, thanks. Yep, no workers. All right. Sweet. You're right. I kind of knew that, but I forget. I just don't do it enough. If I had one of those like huge monitors or whatever, which this is EEVblog's got one of those at work now, one of those, you know, curved large things, and I like my separate monitors. If you don't know, I've got a full HD monitor, 1980 by 1080. I've got a 2K monitor and I've got a 4K monitor, and because I need it to do different like screen capture resolutions, I like editing my videos on the 2K. It's a bit, my 4K is just like everything's too small and there's no point scaling it because you might as well use the 2K. So I use my 2K for editing, I use my 1080p one for screen captures, I use my 4K for various other miscellaneous stuff, and also 4K playback and things like that. So Yeah, there you go. Oh, there's a key. Win key and left arrow. Is there? Ah, win key and left arrow. That's interesting. All right. 6G and 7G. I'm doing fine. Thank you very much, Anthony. Going to order one. By the serious piece of kit, that. What are you going to order? What are you going to order? Did I miss something? Am I going to test Lewis Rossman's new hot air station? I didn't really know he had a new hot air station, but I've heard murmur about a, is it what? It's, because the quick one is the one that, what he's recommending, a new one, is he? Is it an A10 or something like that? Or is it a, what is it? When you join a Q&A and the host is asking more questions than the audience. All right, I'll shut up now. I was just saying hi to everyone. It's a good point, though. Have you seen on the news on solid, I assume soiled state batteries? From my understanding, it's from the same person that led the team that invented lithium batteries. Yes, good enough. His name is fantastic. Like it's a winning name. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I'll believe it when I can buy it. Like when it ships, when they're used in electric cars, when, like, you know, look, every man and his dog's working on some sort of new battery tech. And yeah, well, whoop-de-doo. Okay. Most of them, you know, they work great in theory. They work great in small scale practical experiments and stuff like that. And then you just can't scale them. They're just not economical, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I haven't looked into all the details of, you know, but like if you think batteries are suddenly going to get an order of magnitude cheaper, or an order of magnitude more capacity, or both, I think you're delusional. Because lithium batteries are already a crazy energy density. You get them any higher energy density, geez, they'll, you know, turn into bombs. It's insane. Hey, Jonathan, what's up? Anyway, I thought I don't know, I'm feeling lazy. Thought I'd kill an hour or two. Even though A10, right, yes, it's an A10. Have A10 suddenly made something decent, have they? Because they're always pretty bottom of the barrel, you know. They make, like, just good enough to be, you know, usable kind of thing. Visit Canberra and show us more deep space good times. I've already done, I mean, how many videos have I done in Canberra now? On the EV Discover channel. I've done heaps. But yes, I do plan on going. I was before the my coronavirus put a stop to everything pretty much. I was going to go back to Canberra because there's something in Canberra that's only available in Canberra. It's the only one in the world, and it's the original prototype of something that you use, of a technology that you use daily. I guarantee it. And it's the world, yeah, it's the world's first prototype of that technology. And I was hoping, and I think I might be able to get my hands on that. And possibly I was going to try and organize the inventor of it as well to talk through his prototype. So that would have been cool. But I had plans for, of course, that was one of them. I had plans to do a tour of Rode microphones. I've had an invite there. They were just getting some new stuff installed like late last year, so I was going to wait to this year until early this year, and then the whole micro thing happened. And well, and then is it Crest? No, Actron Air Conditioning have invited. Apparently they've got their Australian air conditioning company, and they've invited me to their design center where they've got like these giant test chambers and stuff like that. So yeah, I had at least 3 things like that and more planned for site visits and stuff. Unfortunately, yeah, it all went tits up. No, I don't know much about vacuum tubes. Zarek. It's just it's just before my time. I've never used tubes. Yeah, it's just not a thing. Yeah, I was born in the Silicon Age, I'm afraid. No, not a thing. Never really used them. You know, I know the basics, but I'm not like, yeah. No, you know, they're still used in high power stuff and the audio aficionados and a few niche applications and things like that. But yeah, it's not my thing. So I got no interest in tubes. EV blog anonymous, I guess. I'm having trouble getting my electrolysis rig to work. I'm currently drawing only 300 milliamps when using a PC computer. 12 volt supply. Would another power supply perform better? I'm not into the electrolysis side of things. I'm not sure what voltage you even have to do electrolysis at. Really, I'm not sure if it, you know, how you catalyte, start it going and then it lowers the impedance, I guess. And I'm probably talking out my ass, I don't know. And then it draws, you know, and then it can draw more and more current. 12 volts, I didn't think 12 volts for an electrolysis rig was that high. So I'm probably not really surprised. You're only getting like 300 milliamps. Anyway, somebody else in the comments might know something about that. Sorry. Chemistries, I could ask Mrs. EEV blog, who's a chemist. Hi Dave, great to catch you live. Mariano, I'm the guy who found you at Altium being used to promote an electronics course. Oh yeah, that was cool. I tweeted that and shared that photo. Can one get into... thank you, PR Crypt Planet. Oh wow, 300 watts. What's NT? What's NT? The super chat NT. I don't know what NT is. I got no idea. Anyway, just make myself bigger. You want to see my ugly mug? I'll get to your question in a sec. I'm the guy who found how can one get into PCB design as a freelancer? Well, most freelancers start out by like working at a company and then like either doing stuff on the side or when the company when they like leave the company or something, then you might approach the let's say you work at a design consultancy or something and then, you know, they were getting you to lay out their boards. Well, they may like your boards and then when you leave the company or maybe on the side, you can go, hey, psst, you know, the company's charging you a fortune. I'll do it for half the price and I'll do it on the weekends at midnight, you know, and nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And that's how you get your freelance jobs. You usually start out by, you build up your contacts by working at companies and things like that. If you just suddenly decide, right, I'm really good at PCB design, I'm going to become a PCB freelancer, and then you go and, well, how do you do it? I mean, you've got those freelance websites, you've got Fiverr.com and all that, but there's a race to the bottom, a real race to the bottom in terms of price, you know, per hour. So you might, you know, you might use that to start to get an experience and stuff like that, but then, you know, you may not make a living from that. Depends on which country you're in, though. You know, if you're in a country that has a low cost of living, then, you know, getting $100 you know, or getting like, you know, 10 or 20 bucks an hour might be good. But if you live in, you know, a high cost of living country or city, then like you need to be getting, you know, 50, 100, 200 bucks an hour kind of thing. So yeah, it's hard, but you usually work at a company. That's how you build up your contacts. Or you you post stuff on forums. Quite a few people have told me on the EEV blog forum they've found design jobs for PCB layout and other design work purely from their forum posts and things like that. People have approached, you know, send them a direct message, private message saying, hey, you know, I liked your post. You seem to be knowledgeable on X subject. Are you interested in, you know, designing a board for me? And yeah, I've had quite a lot of people say that. Happens a lot in the background. You don't see it, but yeah, there's a lot of social stuff happening on the EV blog forum and other types of forums. Thank you for the 300 NTs. Did somebody tell me what the NTs was? I can see the Aten office building from my window. Cool. So you're in China. I assume Aten's in China. They're not Taiwanese, are they? They're Chinese, right? Yes, they are different countries. Yes, I'm aware of the political shit involved in that. And Taiwan's a different country. China's very jealous of Taiwan. So they rightly should be. Because it's what China could be like if, they did things the Taiwanese way. Anyway, sup, sir. I love the videos. Any updates on the micro supply? I do plan on doing a video. I have, well, there's a micro supply, and there is a, hang on. There is a box o' bits. There is a box o' bits, which has, you know, micro supply prototypes. There you go. Focus, you bastard. Yeah. Come on. Need the whole hand. Whole hand. Come on. Come on. There we go. Yep. So, yeah, it's got various micro supply prototypes. It's got various, you know, prototypes of the the binding posts and things like that. I've got, you know, various what do we got? Yeah, I've got, you know, keypads. You know, a whole bunch of keypads. I've got a whole box of keypads actually. And what else we got? You know, like, just like parts. Parts. So I was going to do like a video just like doing the current status of the micro supply, because I want to know myself what the current status is. And oh, that's a that's the yeah, because ever since, you know, so basically I wanted to pick up where David left off. I've just been busy with other stuff at the moment, and I wanted to find out where we stand. You know, test it. I got to do some thermal testing. There's some thermal testing left, but it basically works. And that's the, oh, yep, there we go. There we go. That's the paste. That's the paste stencil. Because we did have these reflow soldered. We didn't, I think David like hand soldered one or something. And then we've got like 5 prototypes, I think. And yeah, anyway, there's just a whole bunch of, you know, blank boards and things like that. So, there we go. Ta-da! And yeah, so I was just going to do a like State of the Union type thing on the micro supply. So yep, and I was going to release the source code, open source. All I got to do is hit a button on the GitLab somewhere. So there you go. Sorry, I haven't been keeping up to date on the, oh, new Taiwan dollar. Okay, NT, thank you very much. New Taiwan dollar. Oh, does that mean that you're in Taiwan and Aten is Taiwanese? Are they? Hi from Chicago. Did I see that DigiKey is offering quoting for US PCB houses? No, I didn't. That's interesting. Oh, the electrolysis thing. I'm using concentrated saline with the electrodes separated by 300 microns. Yeah. Sorry, I have no experience in electrolysis, so yeah, I don't know. 300 bitcoins, yes, please. If I had 300 bitcoins, my next live stream would be from my private island. Yeah. Yeah, shoulda, coulda, got into Bitcoin earlier, but no, if crypto's looking like it's taken off again. Library credits are like 5.50 or so, 5.3 cents or something this morning. They've just like tripled, more than tripled in the last like week or two. Taiwanese dollar, 300 Taiwanese bucks. Yeah, it's all about surface area, isn't it? Surface area, distance, it's all same as capacitance, really. And the dielectric and the voltage. Are you going to do a review on that new signal scope? I don't know. Hey, DefPom's in the house. I don't know. Like, I'll probably do a teardown. I've had it for a long time. Had it for a long time. I don't like scopes are just like, I don't know. Novelty's worn off on scope reviews, really. Maybe if people want me to, I'll probably just do a teardown first. No, I haven't outsourced the software development of the micro supply yet. Oh, first step 1 will be to release the source code open source. Step 2, we do like an overview video, see where I'm at. That's more for me than for everyone, but I might as well release it to show you where I'm at with the project. And then I guess step 3 would be where to take it from there. So unfortunately, there's not really a button I can just push and actually produce these things yet. I wanted to the idea was like maybe build up another 10, or like once I was happy, once it was like, you know, tested, I'm reasonably happy with it. Just do a few more tests and stuff. It's been working for ages, but sort of know where we're at. Then I thought, yeah, like maybe I'd like make another 10 or something, because I can go back to the original company who made, I think they made like 5 prototypes for us, and just give me another 10, something like that. And I don't have molded cases and things like that. It's a big commitment. A lot of us got to spend a lot of money to go to the injection molded case, but I can get the 3D printed ones again. They cost a fair bit, but just for making another dozen or so doesn't really matter. And I was thinking about sending those out to people free, and they can as long as they provide feedback on it, and things like that, help with feedback to see how it goes. And then maybe if everyone was sort of went, oh yeah, this is useful, there's not too many issues with it, can be tweaked in software or whatever, then I might push like a small production run or something. What things? I don't keep things organized. You don't want to see the lab. I do not keep things organized. I'm the epitome of non-organization. Hi from Quebec, Canada. Just wanted to say I've been watching your channel off and on since middle school. I don't know what middle school is. Now I'm in my 2nd year of college. Keep up the wonderful work. Thank you very much. Anon? Oh, look, I can bring up people's faces. Data. Everyone says I look like Data. And I've seen it in a lot of, some people have put my head next to Data's, and like it depends on the angle and the shot you get, then yeah, it's very, I know you can screen capture. I can't do the expression. Maybe. Anyway, yeah, some people said I look like Data, and there is, when you get me side by side in the right angle and everything and expression, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I've got my dad's hair, and my dad's hair is like that. So yeah, it's like the same, like brushed back hair, and yeah, very very similar. Any new dumpster finds? No. Fortunately, there's a second channel video. I got a 55-inch TV on the second channel. I think I'm going to go ahead with that 70-inch TV as the backdrop for my mailbag in the old lab. Could you share your knowledge about photonics or silicon photonics? I don't have much. That's not my area. I've never really been involved in photonics or certainly silicon. I've never been involved in silicon level anything, really. It is certainly not my thing. Could you do a video breaking down different battery chemistries from a design cost perspective? Oh, geez. It's probably hard to find real good info. There's a lot of research that has to go into that. Anyway. Hello from Northern News. All right. I better keep up. How many people are watching, by the way? 148. I think I did tweet this everywhere, didn't I? I put it. How many people are watching, by the way? Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I tweeted it. I put it on Facebook and put it on my main channel community tab. So, yep. There you go. All right. Dave, what do you think? No, David is not still with me. 57 Dent. David left. He's gone on to do his own consultancy stuff and work on other projects and things like that. So he hasn't gone to another company. He works for himself. He's doing contracting type stuff now. What do you think about NASA's new moon landing plans? Yeah, well, they got 3. They awarded 3 winners. Blue Ball's Origin and SpaceX, who got the least amount of money, and another consortium. And the differences, like the stark differences in the 3 new moon landing things. They're really splashing the money around, hedging their bets on all these different plans. I'm not sure what their final, if they're going to pick one or they're going with multiple ones for serving different purposes. But yeah, it's like, I would love to go to Mars, but Mars is hard, really hard, orders of magnitude harder, not order of magnitude, probably orders of magnitude harder to go to Mars. Well, no, it's not. If you just want to get to Mars, Robert Zubrin's Mars Direct plan could work. If you just want to put people on, some hardware and people in Mars, just go dump them there and do it, right? But all this colonization bullshit, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in our lifetime. It's not going to happen in next people's lifetimes. It's just utter bullshit to think that we're going to have some huge self-sustaining colony on Mars. It'll eventually happen, but it's hundreds of years away. But before we get anything remotely resembling what we saw in the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, what's the Mars one? Come on, someone's going to tell me. Shit, I got a mental block. I can't believe I've forgotten it. That's dumb. I'm hopeless. But yeah. So no, we need to go back to the moon. I want a base on the moon. I want just in the book Artemis. I want, I'm still waiting for the Artemis movie, but I don't know, that may not happen. I want that. The moon can work. There's nothing that can pay for the Mars trip. The Mars trip is, you got to do it at a loss. There's nothing that can pay for it. Absolutely nothing. But the moon, yes, tourism. The number of people who would cashed up, who would pay for either a flight around the moon or to go spend a week on the moon. You would have people spending all their retirement money, all these people in their 60s or whatever, just going to the moon. And space tourism could easily pay for that. Easily. I'm sure of it. And then we could have, observatories on the dark side and radio telescopes, and we should be doing all that shit. And yes, we should be going to Mars too, but a total recall, thank you. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. And Blue Ball's Origin, yeah. I interrupted my own rant. And it's a total no-brainer. We have to go back to the moon. It's ridiculous. The moon mining and all that sort of stuff, but tourism is the thing that's going to pay for it. Because nobody wants to spend 9 months, 6 to 9 months in a steel tube headed to Mars to be stuck there with nothing to see, right? Nothing to do practically, and then 9 months coming back and a good chance of dying, right? It's just ridiculous to think that, either there's going to be tourism to Mars or there's going to be a colony on Mars. It's just, no, the practical aspects. But the moon, it's days away. You don't have to wait a launch window every couple of years or whatever. You can just go, right? Oh, there's launch windows for the moon, but, they're much more frequent. And you can just go there. 3 days to get there? Or a couple of days to get there? And you spend a week there, couple of days to get back. It's it's a weekend trip. You would spend more time trying to get to the top of Mount Everest than you would going to the moon. You know how much prep work you got to do to get to the top of Mount Everest? It's just you have to spend months acclimatizing and a good chance of dying. You'd probably have more chance of dying on Mount Everest than you do going to the moon once it's all sort of sorted out a bit. I don't know. A couple of early people might come a gutser, but it's bound to happen. There's bound to be a death in space eventually. It's just it's just sheer statistics, unfortunately. So I do look like data, yeah. And so, yeah, the moon is the obvious and only choice for, just getting back out there and sort of, colonizing space. I guess. Absolute no-brainer. So yeah, as much of a Mars fanboy that I am, and I think we should go there, but yeah, all this rubbish about colonies and things, jeez, no. Nope, nope, nope. The moon's easy. And trust me, once the first tourist goes to, well, look, I've got it in the background, right? I've got it in the background. There it is. Once the first tourist goes to, there it is. I ironically have it as this is my background wallpaper, right? And once someone's standing on the moon, don't have the correct perspective here, but when they send back the first selfie photo and post it on Instagram or Facebooks or wherever it is, right, of them holding up their thumb and covering up the Earth, or like holding up the Earth like Atlas, you know, you'd have to get the right lens and everything, you'd have to get the right angle, and the Earth's actually quite tiny from the moon, but anyway, like, or holding the Earth in your hand like this, it'll be the Leaning Tower of Pisa shot. Right, which everyone, the only reason you go to Pisa, I've been to Pisa, is to get the photo of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? They're a nice little town, but there's nothing else there, right? They just want a photo of the Leaning Tower, but this will be the equivalent. And people will pay millions of dollars for the privilege of just getting a selfie like that. It'll be the ultimate goal, right? People already pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for people to take them up Everest and drag them up Everest so they can get the photo on the summit. You know, it's the ultimate life achievement. This will be the ultimate life achievement. To look back at Earth. You don't get any of this on Mars. You bugger off to Mars, you spend 6 months with nothing. Nothing to see, nothing to do to get there. 6 to 9 months, and then you're sitting there and you just got dust storms, you can't see anything. On the moon, couple of days to get there. Couple of days to get there. And you can, you know, and you can see Earth and the magnificence, and you can hold your thumb up and you can cover it and you can like bounce around and you can like, oh man, there's no contest. What idiot would want to go to Mars? Like in terms of like a tourist or whatever, it's no contest. Moon it is. Trust me. Rant over. I was going to do a separate video on that. I might split this out as a separate video and just upload it on the EV blog too. That's my moon Mars rant. And there's so much more. There's so much more. What do you do on the moon? It's, you know, you can like visit, read the book Artemis. It's like really, it had the promise of being a good story, but it kind of went to shit, the story. But the world building of Artemis is fantastic, of how space, like tourism and mining, will work on Mars. It's absolutely fantastic. So there's, you know, they have the Aldrin bubble, and, you know, they have all these bubbles, these interconnecting bubbles that and everything's like, it's fantastic. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yes, the Van Allen radiation belt is a small problem. Sorry, did I miss like any, are there any super chats? I don't think so. Is David working with Ben Heck in the other channel? What? Oh, EV blog meter no longer available in Amazon US. No, because I don't have enough stock to replenish Amazon at the moment, unfortunately. So no, it's not. At the moment. Oh boy. Anyway, Total Recall. Yep. Oh my god, the UFO video released last, Thunderfoot nailed it. It's a freaking duck, man. They're flying birds. Just go watch Thunderfoot's video. He completely nails it. All the information's there on the screen about the angle of the angle field of view of the actual infrared detector on the thing that's following this thing. It's a bird, man. It's just unbelievable, and it's not going nearly as fast as you think it is due to the jet flying. God, it's so dumb, so dumb. Unbelievable. Like, I'm sure I left this post on Thunderfoot's video. I am absolutely sure there is a room full of people at the Pentagon right now pissing themselves laughing. They just haven't stopped since they formally released these videos. They did it as a troll because they know anyone who analyzes that with any technical knowledge at all should be able to know that these things are bloody birds. Unbelievable. It's just, it's dumb. Anyway. Ah, boy. Someone needs to send this guy to the moon. Might have gone if I was single, but now, like, I got a family. You know, there's good odds of dying, you know. Love to. Yeah, moon seems way cooler. The moon is way cooler than Mars. Like, you know, oh, sure. Like, if Mars was the same distance, yeah, great. Okay, let's go there. It's, you know, there's tons to see and do scientifically. But nothing can beat looking at the Earth. Like, just standing on the surface and look. Like, just nothing beats it. Nothing can beat it. They've never seen a duck before. Before thinking going to moon, Mars, we have to be able to leave our homes. Oh, yeah. What a shit show. Oh, yeah. Elon will come around. Elon will come around and realize that, yeah, he can make a metric crap ton of money, and for his, you know, for his company, his ultimate goal. I know his ultimate goal is Mars, but he'll realize that he can make a crap ton of money from tourism. Of course he will. Of course. My buddy is a US Air Force pilot. We used the data on the screen to calculate the speed of the object in the video to be 0.6 Mach. In addition, the object is cooler than the background on infrared. Yes, because it's a bird. I think you've done your calculations wrong. I think Thunderfoot is right. I think he's done his calculations roughly correct. You know, not going to be exact. It's back of the envelope type stuff. But seriously, put them out there. Put the calculations on a blog or in a video and post on the EV blog forum, and everyone will take a look. Everyone will double check it. I don't care that you've got a US Air Force pilot. Like, you know, you don't need an Air Force pilot may know jack shit about, you know, calculating stuff like this. So that, you know, there's no argument. You shouldn't use an argument from authority there. No, it's present the data, and we know what the numbers on the screen means. If Thunderfoot's got the numbers, you know, on the screen, like the altitude and everything and other stuff wrong, then, you know, yep, post it. Yeah, moon's much more rewarding than Mars, hands down. I agree. It's not just a stepping stone. Moon is permanent. We'll have people permanently on the moon long before we have people permanently on Mars. What a miserable existence it'd be on Mars, really. Hats off to the first people who go there. You know, I can understand you want to be immortal. You know, your name is, you know, the first people to go there and stuff like that, and they will be, which is fantastic. But geez, you know, nah. When they go crazy for the 9 months in the tube, and then they realize they're stuck there, and then it's 9 months trip back. It's like, oh boy. Yep. Walking on the moon from the police when you are there. Yeah, you could do so, like, unbelievable. And of course, just the tourist attractions of the original Apollo landings. Like, you know, like, oh man, people will pay millions of dollars to go see this. There are thousands of people with millions of dollars, tens of thousands of people who will happily spend $1 million for a trip to the moon to, like, go take a selfie in front of the Apollo. Probably won't get the Apollo 11 lander. They'll probably do, like, I don't know, last one, like, it depends where they want to do it, but, you know, Apollo 17 or whatever. Yeah, and all the, the old rovers sit in there, you take a selfie sitting in there, if they let you, because there's the Lunar Preservation, I can't remember the exact name, the Lunar Preservation Program or something, where, look, they're national trusts or whatever, you're not actually allowed to touch the objects up there. If you design rovers and stuff like that, there's you're not allowed to come within, I think, 80 meters or something like that of the original landing sites. So it's not like people are going to be able to sit in the old lunar rover and, hey, thumbs up, Fonzie style, like in the Martian. Hey. Love the Fonz. My dog's name used to be Fonzie. Maybe the Pentagon never seen a duck before. Math rules, all right, totally agreed. The chance of space elevator. No, space elevators aren't going to happen. No, not going to happen. Nope. I'm not a mechanical engineer. I'm not the best to debunk a space elevator. I'm not the best to do it. I just, my spidey sense says, no, it's not going to happen. You'll get killed by the practicalities. Works in principle, works in theory. It's not going to work in practice, even with your nanotubes and whatnot. My buddy is an Air Force pilot, is the new. My uncle works at Nintendo. A friend who flew F-22s over the Nellis Range, you'd be amazed what has been shown as UFOs when it's an F-22 flying aggressively at night. Yep. Oh, I'm right. Anon. Hey, there you go. He's going to go post on the forum or somewhere. He's going to go post the info. That's how engineering works. I have named the first Mars colony Roanoke. I have no idea what that's a reference to. Someone will tell me. Yeah, what? I guess you'll get fined when you get back. A lot of millionaires will go, screw that. I'll cop the $1 million fine for that selfie in the rover. It's like people who buy heritage houses. I don't. It might be equivalent. I'm sure there's equivalents in other countries, but here, if you buy a really old house from the 1930s or something, there could be a heritage order on it, right? And which means that you're not allowed to demolish it. You're not allowed to alter it in. You have to get special permission to alter it in certain ways and stuff like that. And these heritage places, right? What they do is they just bulldoze them. They just bulldoze them, and then the council come along and go, you can't bulldoze that. That was, that was a heritage order. We're going to fine you $10,000. And they go, okay, sorry, I didn't know. And then walk off chuckling. 10 grand, is that all? I can make a fortune more because I've just, demolished the thing and turned it into apartments. They're happy to pay the fine, right? Because it's not a crime. You're not going to jail for it, right? It's you've just broken some law and they fine you, right? So they're happy to cop the fine. Yeah. Yeah, when we get good at going to the moon, we'll probably get better at going to other places. I mean, shit, for 50 years, we haven't, almost 50 years. It'll be 50 years in 2022. We haven't gone beyond low Earth atmosphere. Yeah, we need to go back to the moon. The Van Allen belt feels a bit dicey for 6 months. You only briefly go through the Van Allen belt. There's various ways out to minimize the Van Allen belts, but once you're beyond that, you're in, it's not the Van Allen belt influence anymore. So, but you've got other cosmic rays. So, you've got to be alerted when when there's a cosmic storm, and you've got to go hide out inside your water tanks or something, Space Hyperloop. David, when will Altium stop with all the FPGA nonsense and make it more affordable? The competition is kicking. I thought they'd abandoned FPGA. I don't know. I don't keep up with Altium anymore, but I thought they had abandoned the FPGA stuff long ago when they booted Nick Martin out, because that was his vision. When they booted him out, they realised, there's no future in this FPGA stuff. So they ditched it and they went back to core PCB stuff. Are they still running? I'm sure they still have support for it, but like, I don't believe there's any focus on it. And oh right, no, they've already stopped. Make it more affordable. No, they're probably not going to make it more affordable. I don't think so. Yeah, I doubt it. No, the company's too rich now. Company's too rich. They're pushing to the higher and higher end each time. And no, I don't think they will. They're not going to cannibalize their market. They're not going to cannibalize their massive market share. I mean, they went up to over $40 a share. Unbelievable. Coulda, shoulda, bought it 10 cents. Anyway, would have been rich. Would have been my private island by now. What do you think of all the cheap FPGA options these days? Oh, well, it's fantastic, but there's too many of them. Where do you start? Like, there's just so many of them. It's not a crime, you just broke some law. Yeah, but there's no jail term behind, is what I'm saying. Like, there's no threat. Laws have, like a fine and or, 6 months in jail or something like that. For knocking down a heritage house, there's no jail term. So, yep. And there's things, there's differences between federal crimes and heritage orders and stuff like that. See, I don't think technically, like, something like that, is it like a council, do the council give you the fine? Because, like, it's not like the police will come along and give you a fine. You knock down that heritage house and they fine you, right? They say you've committed a crime, here's a fine. It's not I don't believe it's a police matter. So that's why I sort of made the distinction there. Anyway, someone may correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's some other state or council type thing. So there are, subtle differences there, I think. Dave, your hair is as good as always. Who is cutting it? They're doing a stellar job. I don't know if that's a troll or not, but Mrs. EEV blog, cut my hair. I didn't post that. I posted it privately on Facebook, but I didn't post it publicly. Yes, Mrs. EEV blog's cutting my hair. Well, she's only cut it once. What is my favorite video? You mean like mine? Oh, God, I couldn't tell you. Oh, no. I'd say, well, no, I could. Speaking of the moon and everything else, I'm really proud of my moon landing conspiracy busting video. That's over on EEV Discover. A lot of people don't know that I've done original research that proves that we landed on the moon. It's over on my EEV Discover channel. I've done my own original research. As far as I know, I'm the first one to ever come up with that actual proof. And I'm very, very proud of that video. Worked out really well. Oh, you do go to jail in the UK for demolishing a protected property, do you? Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, well, here maybe there is, but I don't know, maybe like if it was something more important, if you knock down well, no, they did that. They did it with the government. Knock down the Powerhouse Museum. Yeah, fucking great bunch of dickheads. Well, they didn't knock it down, but they converted it into apartments and booted out the Powerhouse. Unbelievable. Bloody, it's all government approved. Any chance of a PCB design stream or something like that in the future? Oh, yeah, if I'm designing a PCB, I might turn on the video. Survivor Island in space, yeah. In your opinion, is Xilinx still a major player in FPGA? Of course they are. They're still one of the big two. I don't know why anyone would doubt otherwise. The die master, as in dies, machine dies, I guess. No idea what chip of the week is. Civil offence, not criminal offence. Yeah, probably. I'm not sure of the exact terminology here in Australia. Yeah, well, Eve, Mrs. Eve Blog, yeah, she cut my hair. We did have the benefit of trimmers, but she used dressmaking scissors, these large dressmaking scissors. And it was, okay, dear, I trust you. And, she did all right. How's that? Yep, it's good. Yeah, so, you know, a trimmer for the sides and the back, but, you know, yeah, did it with dressmaking scissors. Since then, yeah, we've bought some, I think she's on the hook to do it all the time now. Bought some proper scissors to do it. Hotel Broadway in Brisbane, heritage listed hotel, mysteriously burnt down. Yeah, owner wanted to put apartments there. Council now, oh, they now say no. Good on them. Good on them, because they knew he, you know, it sounds dodgy as, right? No, I won't say no. It's not like I've never created any medical devices. I did briefly work for Cochlear, the implant. You know, the implant. I was working on like the next generation Cochlear implant. I was a contractor. I wasn't employed by them. I was doing some contract work for them, working on low power FPGA low power implantable FPGA stuff with Cochlear. That was, ooh, have they come out with the next generation? That was back when I was in the garage. I think I was in the garage when I did that. I just lost my job at Altium, and I needed some more work, obviously, because the YouTube wasn't paying the bills. So I got a contract design gig for, I don't know, it was 6 months worth or something like that for the Cochlear implant, the next gen. But I think at the time it was like 7 years away. It was like, or was it the next gen? It was like they're always working on, like, you know, sometimes they're like 2 or 3 generations ahead of what their current product is. So yeah, it was implantable battery FPGA technology and low power FPGA technology. So yep, did some boards and wrote some papers and white papers and stuff like that on low power, evaluating low power FPGAs and various and battery technologies, battery charging technologies and things like that. You hot a real knife. I mean, you got a real knife? Got, yes. Of course I have a real knife. Famous for it. No, I don't know, Cliff. Aaron from Pace, he said he was going to send me a new version of the 1.4 software, but I never got it. Apparently it got stuck in customs or something. Don't know why. And I never got it. They're doing, bro, the New South Wales state government decided to sell off the Powerhouse Museum to developers. Developers. Have you been to the Powerhouse? It's fantastic, the Powerhouse Museum. Heritage galore. And yeah, they sold it off to their developer buddies. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And Powerhouse Museum's moving to Parramatta. They bought a site at Parramatta where they're putting their power. No tourist comes to Sydney and then wants to go to Parramatta. I mean, yeah, it's, you know, a big, huge shopping centre, but nobody's going to, you know, 95% of tourists are not going to come to Parramatta, even if we have the Powerhouse Museum there. It's a retarded idea. But it's part of the state government's commitment to Western Sydney, so that everything, Mrs. EEV blog works for their government, and they've all moved to Parramatta. All their stuff, all the, you know, Sydney Water, the EPA, they're all these government departments, they're all moving to Parramatta. It's their new thing to prop up, you know, Parramatta's the next, you know, major city in Sydney kind of thing, you know. And to put the tourist attraction like the Powerhouse Museum in Parramatta is just so retarded. Unbelievable. Just because they want to sell it off to their developer buddies. That happened, that was signed a couple of years ago. They haven't moved out yet, but it's been signed apparently. Like it's ironclad contract. We'd have to pay, if a new state government comes in, we'd have to pay the developers. If we wanted to get out of that contract, we'd have to pay them a penalty or something, I'm sure. So, yeah, unbelievable. Should be sacked. Bloody lot of them. What happened to VH Dick? I don't know. Has something happened to VH Dick? I don't know. He hasn't called me in a while. If people don't know, we're talking about VH Dick as good old Tricky Dick Smith. Yeah, last I know he was, I helped him set up his YouTube channel, and he I was pestering him for months, calling me, wanting advice on this and that, and haven't heard from him for a while. Do you think other EDAs will lose relevance with KiCad getting better and better? No, they're not going to lose relevance like Eagle might. Like, do you hear anything about Eagle anymore? I think Eagle's, I'm not going to say it's dead, but geez, it's probably on life support, isn't it? Like, you know, have like the likes of like Adafruit and SparkFun and those sort of, I don't follow this anymore. Like, have they like switched over to KiCad now? Because, you know, they all started using Eagle, you know, way back, like, you know, 10, 12 years ago. That's why it became this de facto standard. But, yeah, KiCad's getting so good. Surprised if they haven't moved over. Would be cool if I design and build a breadboard computer like Ben Eder. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure I have the... I used to build up huge breadboards when I was younger, but I don't know if I had the patience to do it now. Murphy would get me. Murphy would get me with a dodgy contact. Take me a week to find the dodgy contact. Oh boy. How are you so motivated despite the slow growth of your channel? Well, it's still growing. Who cares? It's been growing at a consistent rate. Yeah, it's not going exponential. But, like, who cares? I don't expect it to. I am not mainstream. I don't have mainstream material. My content is too eclectic. It's too widespread for me to have a large subscriber, to A, pick up new subscribers, and B, have a large subscriber to view ratio and stuff like that. So, yeah, I've just been plodding along. Linear growth is fine. Nothing wrong with linear growth. Like, who's going to complain about, I still got linear growth? Who's going to complain about linear growth? No. Easy to keep up the motivation. So my channel doesn't go, you know, like, yeah, there's channels bigger than, there's quite a few engineering related channels bigger than mine now, but they don't have the same eclectic content that I do. They're more focused, and they appeal to a more mainstream, wider audience, just due to the nature of their content. But the problem is, when you have a channel like that, then you can only do that particular type of content. If some of these other channels that have very specific, you know, you get the same video every time, if they suddenly go do an interview video with someone, or they go do, you know, some other review of some, or, you know, some other obscure thing, then all the audience are going to go, what the fuck, I didn't sign up for this. Whereas you sign up for the EEV blog, that's what you get. You just get random shit. You know, I do a dozen different types of videos. Did you start tinkering with electronics before formal education in the field? Of course I did. I don't remember my first project, Leo. I was too young. I don't remember. It's too long ago. It's in a galaxy far, far away. Yes, of course. I had my first lab when I was like 7 or something, you know. Dave, I am an electrical engineering technology university student who just got an internship at a small aerospace company as an EE intern hardware. Any advice on being successful as an intern? I don't know about the internship thing. It depends on the country you're in and the culture and all that sort of stuff, and the company culture. Just like, don't just do what they ask. Do other stuff. Like, even if it's in your spare time and you're not getting paid for it, like, work on other cool stuff for them, and then you can suddenly one day go in and go, oh, look what I've done. Check this out. Isn't it cool? Do something cool, you know? And so that you'll get known within the company as, oh, yeah, he's that kid that did that cool thing, you know? That's what you want. You want to make a name for yourself. That's how you do it. Noah. Let's have a look at Noah. There he is. It's Pilot. And, yeah, make a name for yourself. See a petter. That's dangerous. how you pronounce that. Dave, I think someone as knowledgeable as you should be rich already, creating and selling products rather than working on contracts. Hello? I haven't worked on contract for 9 years now. Was the last time I did any contract work. So I don't know what you're talking about. Working on contracts. I don't know what you're talking about there. Para is the eastern part of Western Sydney. Yeah, I know. well pointed out. But, you know, to the snobs, like anything past, like, you know, Redfern is like Western Sydney. It's hilarious. Nothing wrong with Para. Nothing wrong with Para at all. Silverwolf, get off your high horse. Go to Para. Snob. Wanker. What's in the thermos? Water is in the thermos. Do some quackery like Big Clive once in a while to see who is asleep at the wheel. Well, I just released my mailbag today, and there was a bit in it where I got this like cheap $2 18650 charger, and the video was already like an hour long, and I've shot some of the material like tearing it down, and I thought, oh god, you know, it's like, so I thought, nah, just make that as like a little second video all on its own. I might even like reverse engineer the schematic kind of thing, because it's fun. Abraham, Dave, can you give suggestion on going full-time freelancing? As I said, you don't jump into it. I replied to somebody before, don't jump into it. Because if you just suddenly go, right, I'm a good engineer, I'm going to suddenly become a full-time freelancer. And you go and advertise on Freelancer or Fiverr or something like that. And it's just, I'm repeating myself now. It's just a race to the bottom in price. Most people, they work at a company full time, and they build up their contacts at the company, and they slowly do like little side work for people and things like that. And that grows and grows. And when your side business, your midnight engineering business, is so big that you can quit your job, and then you have a couple of key clients or something like that you do work for. That's how you do it. You don't just quit your job and go, right, I'm going to be a freelancer, and you sit there twiddling your thumbs and hope people call you. You know, it's not going to happen. Yes, Lewis Rossman seems to be okay with a variety of... He doesn't have a huge variety. Lewis does not have a huge variety of content. I'm sorry to tell you. Lewis has the repairs. He's got his fans for the repairs. He's got his rants. He's got... And Apple. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but there's probably three audience... And Lewis does three types of content. Apple bashing stuff, which is hugely mainstream popular. He doesn't do a lot of that, but when he does, it gets a lot of views. And he does repairs. That's it, repairs. Like there's not much else. And rants, business rants and stuff like that. It's like, he doesn't have a huge variety of content. Whereas go look at mine. Go look at the breakdown of my content in previous videos I've done. I've showed the breakdown of my content. Yeah. And his business rants just are going to be attractive to a much larger audience than I could ever possibly do. I don't miss anything about contract work, apart from working on when you work at a company and you work on cool stuff, when you work at a company or work on contract, you're forced to work on this stuff because they're paying you, right? So you're forced to work on projects in a certain way, in a certain time frame, and you've got to push yourself in a certain way. You don't get that when you're working on your own projects. So often it's, you can work on just more interesting stuff, and you probably get more done when you're doing contract work or working for a company. When you're working on your own projects, it's like you just do a half-assed job, or you get a better idea and you move on to something else and you leave it half unfinished. You got a dozen unfinished projects, Any tips for FreeAS? I have no idea what that is. Lewis claims he isn't a YouTuber, just a minor vlogger. Yes, my parents used to get pissed at me for tearing things to bits. That's why they got me my first 50-in-1 kit. I've done Jeet? Any tips for a fresh EE undergrad looking for a job? Type into YouTube search bar EE vlog job tips. I've done at least 2, maybe 3 videos on graduate job tips. So I won't repeat myself. Again. What was the best thing I got in the current mailbag? Well, I got a laser etcher thing. Didn't have one of those, so I guess, yeah, it's all right. Cat videos, right. Yeah. There you go. 4. I stand corrected. What microscope magnifying solution do I use for SMD work? I use a Mantis Elite. Don't get the one for the building camera; it sucks ass. And also digital. My digital one is a Why am I having a mental block today? Tagano. Thank you. Using a Tagano ×40 digital scope. Both of those are very expensive. But they're the Duck's Guts. Yeah, he's right to repair stuff, but that's still business stuff. Like, it's still business. He's you know, you could argue that's a category on its own. Maybe his right to repair videos, perhaps. But once again, that appeals to a huge mainstream audience, you know. But I'd categorize that under just like his business rants, I guess. Yeah, he's doing a lot of political stuff because that's if his channel only did repair videos, he would be nowhere near as small. If he didn't do rants, he'd be just some small channel. Seriously, if he never did Apple rants, if he only did repair stuff, he'd be, you know, he'd be lucky to get 100,000 subs, right? As good as his repair videos are, it's just the nature of the market. Rossman Real Estate was great, yeah. I was hooked on Rossman Real Estate. It's terrific. But once again, that falls under drama. You know, like you could say the drama category. You know, the business drama or the, you know, the right to repair drama, the real estate drama. You know, certainly not different types of content. Not to me anyway. How's quarantine there? It's whatever. Usual life. Apart from the kids being home from school, nothing's different. Apart from not being able to go to the gym, I guess. Yeah, so apart from the kids being home from school, not going to the gym and maybe not being able to go out to the movies or eat at a restaurant, you know, we had to get, you know, takeaway fine dining the other night, you know, because you couldn't go out to a restaurant, right? Apart from that, it's like no big deal. Like, you know, it's probably 90% same as what we normally do. What power supply did I use for determining the voltages to drive my Nixie tubes? I have a Keithley high voltage power supply. It goes to 1,000 volts. Dial it in. It's a... Can't believe I couldn't remember that. It's Keithley 240A. Old school. Dials. High voltage power supply. I think it even has a tube in it. Yeah, fantastic. I've actually got 2 of those. Probably have to sell the other one. Both of them work. Don't know how I ended up with 2. Yes, I asked Compony what video I've made that I'm most proud of. I reckon the debunking video, the moon landing conspiracy debunking video. Simple, but, you know, like nobody had done it before. I don't have many large projects going on, tangents. Just haven't got the time to work on. Oh, no, I didn't see Quick pissed him off. How did Quick piss off Lewis? That's interesting. Do I think the COVID crisis damaged EE industry? Of course it is. It decimated everything. There's no EEV blog drama going on. I don't have drama in my life. No, sorry. No drama. Not unless somebody sues me or tries to, you know, shut down my channel or something like that. There's no drama happening. How's the new lab coming along? Very slowly. I just ordered another 11 light panels. I kind of like want to get the light panels in first before I do anything. I'm debating on whether or not to kind of like how slow I should do it, or whether I should bite the bullet and just like move a couple of benches over. I thought maybe I'll move like a third of my benches over or something. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to decide. Dave, have I heard of Easy EDA from LSLCSC? Yes, I've had to play around with it. It's like, yeah, you know, whoop-de-doo. It's free and integration. Yeah, okay, it's integration, but, you know, no, I wouldn't recommend people use it. I'd recommend you go out and use KiCad or, you know, some other free, you know, a proper PCB tool, you know. And yeah, it integrates, but can't you get like the LCSC library or something, JLC PCB library for KiCad or something? If you can't, maybe someone should make it and then you don't have to be tied into their tool. I'm not sure I'd, you know, I think it does, it does simulation okay, doesn't it? But no, I think you're better off, if you're going to do PCBs, learn a real tool, like a real tool. Like, especially if you're, you know, young and you want to put it on your resume, nobody's going to give a rat's ass that you've designed boards in Easy EDA. Like, just no, it's like, nope, it's not a thing. Never will be. Lewis Rossman, Jesus, talking about Lewis a lot, only branched out past repair rants after years and years of content and a big audience, plus all his rants are work-related. Do love his, I'm not sure what your point is. Yeah, no, it's his rants that got the audience. It's his rants for Apple and other business and like life advice and stuff like that. That's what brings in the mainstream audience. Repair's never ever going to bring in a mainstream audience. Never. Even you know, even though he's like, you know, he's very good, very entertaining at them, but it's still like, you know, it's only a limited audience that want to sit there and watch you repair a MacBook for half an hour. Oh yeah, I've had the odd drama, but you know. What motherboard is that in the background? Oh, it's a mailbag. Someone sent it in. There it is. It's a big server. It's one of those like 4 Xeon server motherboards. Yes, it's a Super Micro something. Yep. Greetings from apocalyptic Brazil. Love your videos. It's amusing seeing how much neat equipment you have access in Australia. We got nothing compared to the Yanks. The protectionist policies here make it too expensive to get any good equipment. Good equipment's expensive here too. I'm sure it's not nearly. I'm sure we're much better off than actually Brazil. But you know, if you compare us to the US, then I thought someone was knocking. You'll buy my second Keithley 240A, will you? Only if you're in Australia. No, you can't come to Australia and learn from me directly. Sorry. Dave, have you dabbled in guitar amp repair? No. No, I don't. Sorry. I did reverse engineer a preamp once. A valve preamp? Was it a valve preamp or reverse engineered a valve preamp or something? Can't remember. How do you think electronics, robotics, and computer science will be different after the world recovers from COVID outbreak. Well, I don't know. Like, there will be some that are going to be permanently working from home now, as a lot of companies realize, holy crap, I'm spending all this money for all this, office space and stuff like that, and people have started being working from home, and the business still functions. And our clients are still, everything still seems to be kind of sort of working. So there might be, I can't see it being more than 10, 15% or something of the workforce might be now working from home or something. But even that's a huge percentage. Like, it's not going to be suddenly like half of the world's going to be working from home. I don't think that's going to happen. They'll very quickly go back into, but the thing is, like, even with all these lockdowns, right? It's something like 40 to 50% of people are still out and about working. They're essential services and stuff like that. People think, the whole country's in lockdown, whole cities are in lockdown. Bullshit, right? Nearly, people, you think there's only a couple of percent of people out there doing essential work? I've seen figures like 40 to 50% of people are still out there doing essential work. Somebody's got to be, serving you at the supermarket still. Somebody's got to be delivering and all the logistics and all that sort of stuff. People still have to be producing this stuff, warehouses and factories, and not to mention, the hospitals and all your other ancillary stuff and things like that. It's just huge numbers. Huge numbers. So there's a big push on here Where's here? To declare the whole COVID thing over or fake. Well, it's as always, there's a kernel of truth in every statement. It's not over and it's not fake, but some of the numbers are fake for sure. Some of the death numbers completely overblown. In many countries where they didn't die from COVID. Right? It's just ridiculous. We don't have the real numbers on it. So yeah, there's a lot of fake numbers going on there. As far as being over, we have to get back. We can't lock down the planet like this. It's just going to it's going to cause another Great Depression. And that might even kill more people than the bloody COVID would. No, we have to get back. We have to protect the vulnerable, and we have to get back to business. As soon as possible, or not just get back to business totally. There's, staggered, but no, we can't just go on locking shit down forever. It's bloody ridiculous. It's just, and the thing is, there's no control set of data. So, and the politicians know this, right? The politicians know that all these oppressive, 1984 style, lockdowns, right? They know that they can only win from this, right? Because there's no other control group that goes, okay, were those lockdowns actually the reason why the numbers went down? How much impact did they actually have, right? Of course they have some, right? It could even be the majority. Don't know. There's no control group, a direct control group, because you can't compare countries and, things like that. And so there's no direct control group where, okay, all the same conditions, but one locked down and one didn't, right? There's too much variability. So they can never be proven wrong. So if the numbers go down, they go, it was our oppressive lockdown policies that, saved you, right? And if the numbers stay flat or even go back up again, they'll go, you idiots didn't follow our lockdown rules. It's all your fault. It's just bullshit. We can't just go locking down shit forever. You can't just destroy entire economies. I know it's not about the money. There's more to it than that. It's about, people's livelihoods being destroyed. It's just, by government mandate. Basically, people's lives are being destroyed by government mandate. Even though they were fit, young, healthy, and they could have, just simply better hygiene is, probably one of the major reasons, making people aware of, so it's been good from a scare. It scared people into changing their habits and things like that, which is a really good thing. But apart from that, you're never going to get, we will never get data on this, proper reliable data, say how effective the lockdowns actually were. because there's no control groups. So anyone who claims, just beware of anyone who claims that they, you know, they're comparing, you know, oh, this country this country locked down and this one didn't. And you can't compare countries like that. It's ridiculous. Anyway. Oh, you're talking among yourself there, Petter. Do you follow Fran Blanche? You're not talking to me. Lewis drop. Oh, Lewis drop quick. Okay. Jeez, so much Lewis talk. Yeah, notice how there have been almost no influenza deaths this year. That's because they've all been attributed to COVID. Yeah, and a lot of other deaths too. And you know, not saying all, but you know, yeah, it's a sudden drop, drastic drop in other types of deaths. Yeah, it's, you know, it's a lot of dodgy business going on there for political reasons, for political expediency, I'm sure. But yeah, Australia's, we've really got off very lightly with this thing, and you know, we'll just never know if it was, you know, how much of that was due to lockdowns. As I said, we'll just never know. So everyone, come on, everyone's not in the same risk group. Don't be a dick. Ablight, don't be ignorant. Everyone's not in the same risk group. I'm not in the same risk group as my mother, who's in a retirement village, and my kids aren't in the same risk group as me. Come on. Don't be ridiculous. Yeah, they didn't put any effort here into, I don't want to get too political, but they put zero effort here. Precisely zero effort into protecting the vulnerable. Instead of, no, they just locked down all the healthy people. You know. Yeah. Anyway. I'm not saying it wasn't needed back when we, you know, didn't know, we knew jack shit about this whole thing. Like locking down was probably the only thing we could do, possibly at the time. You know, was probably the best choice. But yeah. Do dip packages still pretty much exist just for prototyping the students, or is it an advantage to using them in production? There's still advantage, they're still cheap. You get that double-sided board, open any modern television, or even like a PC power supply or something, they'll still be a single-sided PCB with tons of through-hole parts. They're still cheap. Still cheaper. So, yeah. Dave, please, Eagle fanboy alert. Dave, please take another look at Eagle. It has come a long way, e.g. push and shove routing. BGA fan out. Hobbyists can now have unlimited board space layers sheets for free. Oh, can they, Tom? Okay, that's great. I just don't hear about it. So, you know, not my problem. It's got bad publicity, or zero publicity. KiCad's killing it. Yeah. Although somebody just told me the other day that no, to get it, unlimited. Yeah, hobbyists, no. Yeah, hobbyists can have unlimited board space, but then when you want to actually sell a product, even if you sell one widget for $10, technically you're violating the license, aren't you? And then you have to get the monthly thing, right? Yeah, okay, great for hobbyists, but you know, KiCad's just free. It's open source. It's free for everyone, regardless. Doesn't matter what you do with it. No, Eagle's not going to be able to compete with that, I'm sure. Okay, yeah, I'm sure they've had a lot of cool stuff, right? Ever since they were bought out. I have absolutely no doubt. It's probably quite decent. But KiCad's kicking its ass in the publicity stakes. It always will. I don't see, you know. Yep. Can't see how can ever Eagle can turn the tide again. I don't see it. Any book suggestions about FPGAs? I don't know. I don't have any FPGA books. Couldn't tell you. I've got, you know, a VHDL book somewhere, but no, that's not my area. Sorry. It's not my area anymore. Couldn't tell you. Ooh, I was wondering if you could make a video about atheism. Religious people seem to think atheism is a belief system. Yeah, I know. And also confuse it with Satanism. Yeah, I know. Idiots. Vladimir. Yeah, interesting. I always said that if I didn't do electronics videos, and I became a YouTuber, I'd probably be making atheist videos, but probably not anymore, because like the atheist YouTube movement was huge like 8-10 years ago. It was like, it was big. And I probably would have, I was big in the atheism community once on various forums and stuff like that. Maybe I would have ended up getting into that or something, perhaps. But these days, no, the atheism community, well, it was destroyed by Atheism Plus and social justice. Social justice destroyed atheism. Absolutely, no doubt. That's a demonstrable fact. And it's just like it gets like it's good for a couple of years, and then it gets to the point where you're just doing the same argument, the same video again and again and again, and the other side's still not listening, and still don't get it. It's just it sort of was almost destined to die a natural death, I guess. Atheism on YouTube. I used to follow them all the time. I used to follow all the atheist YouTubers. Used to watch all the videos and stuff. And, they were hilarious. I'd love, Thunderfoot's, Why Do People Laugh at Creationists, part 50, and absolutely fantastic. Good fun stuff. But yeah, it's, ultimately, I guess every atheist is going to just die. The amazing atheist just sort of, stopped doing them and moved on to other stuff. And it's just like, it just eventually it's going to die a natural death like that. So to answer your question, no, I'm probably not going to make a video exclusively about it. I don't know. There's just there'd be so much effort in making a good one. There's already so many out there. I don't know how I could offer anything new. Death bomb. New Zealand has 0 new cases for the past couple of days. Yeah, we've had a little flare up. I'll mention it. Hang on. It's COVID-19 data. Yeah, that's it. Have a look at this. I've been putting this on Twitter, but it's fascinating. It's a damped sine wave here in Australia. Or it's a damped response, sorry. It's a damped response. If we have a look, where's active, daily active cases? Here we go. Confirmed cases. Here we go. It was a little bit higher here. I think it was up to 300 a day or something. Anyway, but it only shows back to here. So like it tapered off like this. Then it just went up again. Then it went up. Somebody's hammering. And then it's a damped sine wave. It's a damped response, right? It's like not quite sine X on X, and it's been going up. It's gone up a little bit more, but we probably expect it to go down again, and then just keep riding this little damped. I don't know, if you hold your tongue at the right angle, tilt your head and squint, you can see it's like a damped. There's a period in there, right? It's not quite accurate, but tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. That there's not. It's not that's not some sort of damped response. It's just fascinating. But yeah, we've had a few increases lately, but that's we've had a massive increase in testing as well. Here it is. Here's the 7-day average. Boom. No wonder we got more cases, because we did a metric crap ton more tests. We just ramped up the testing. So the pink bars are the number of tests, like up to 20,000 a day now. So no wonder we got a slight uptick in a few more cases per day. But it's you can see like the little uptick there when we started like more testing and things like that. But yeah, Australia's really, there's got to be probably multiple factors involved in why Australia hasn't been hit this hard. And don't tell me it's the lockdowns, because as I said, we've still got like 40% of the population out there still mingling and working and stuff like that. And a lot of Australians, she'll be right, mate, attitude. A lot of people don't care. They're not taking too many. We're kind of sort of doing. We're kind of sort of doing the right thing, but there's a lot of yobbos out there not doing anything, not caring, and so we've just naturally got this taper off, and it's like, I think we're probably one of the best examples in the world of actually a recovery from this thing. And Did it have something to do with our, just because we came out of summer, the climate, vitamin D, we're all, we get a lot more sun here than everyone else? Is it, a combination of all these things, a combination of our low population density? The answer could be all of these types of things, and with any lockdown measures. But I think our taper off started before the lockdowns really, kicked in. So... yeah, anyway, it's fascinating. Maybe we'll never know. Maybe we'll just never know. Why no Fran Blanche? RG Pops. Fran makes good content. She gets, like, lots of cool old stuff. She does good content. Yeah. Government response is what it is. Both share the same targets. That's an interesting theory. Yeah, I don't know. I think can you catch, but like, can you have both at the same time? I assume so. Maybe. But I don't know if they compete in the same way precisely. I think the devil's in the detail there. Yeah. Don't compare countries. Be careful comparing countries, Petter. Yeah, look, I don't blame the government for locking down. It was probably the only thing to do at the time. It was probably, like, the most sensible choice. But yeah, you just got to be careful. Don't budge an inch. Don't let them track you. Don't let them introduce cash bans. Don't let them introduce, or you can only go, like, mandated vaccines. Don't let them, force, you can go out, you can be free if you get this vaccine and you run the COVID tracking app, and, you can get on the plane if you, you can fly again if you've, papers, please. Just be very careful of, your government's doing that, because they will take every advantage they can get to control you. Don't let it happen. Why do I need moderators? I didn't say there's nothing been bad here. Has there? Have I missed stuff? Did I see the 30-cent USB MCU? No. CH, but it doesn't surprise me. I need to get back on that video of the 3-cent microcontroller. Because people have, I meant to do that, like, back when someone released the GCC compiler for it. They've got GCC compiler or some other compiler support for it now, some other open source compiler support for it. And yeah, I want to revisit that, do another video, because that was very popular, that video, the 3-cent microcontroller. And yeah, do another video actually running through the tool chain and actually compiling the program and programming it and stuff. Yep. Why don't you have an Adam's apple? I don't know. Don't I? No, probably not. I don't know. All right. No idea. No idea. If I don't have a big Adam's, some people don't have a big Adam's apple, do they? I have no idea. Never thought about it. Never had anyone mention it. Oh, someone's got a super chat. Glass Monsters in the house. Yeah, we do benefit from being naturally, our low population density has to help. But I don't know, schools are the same here as anyone else, and other things, like I'm a stone's throw from the Hillsong mothership. I'm absolutely stunned that, as far as I'm aware, we got no out cases from the Hillsong mothership, and that's just a petri dish teenage orgy. The Hillsong mothership, bloody Americans. Yeah, I'm a stone's throw from that, and they infest the local shopping centre here, and yeah, I'm just stunned, like, so all those things. Yes, I have biological children that I'm aware of. I assume they're mine. Who's the dude? I don't know who the dude is. The dude. Why don't you have an Adam's apple? Okay. Why don't you you have a female neck? Old Gates, who is femme. What the fuck? Fuck off, dude. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You're promoting the COVID hoax, am I? Okay. Well, you're gone, dude. Yeah. Remove. Report. Remove. Report. Remove. Put user in timeout. Just remove, can't we? Yep. There you go. Dude's been removed. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see any other. I just, you know, why didn't you have an Adam's apple? Seemed a fair question, but no. I think we have a resident nut job. Is it Q&A for everything? Oh, yeah, I guess. What's time? How long have we been going for? How long's this been going for? Anything over 2 hours and you don't get the... everything. Oh, yeah. I was big in the atheism community once on various... Hour and 31. Okay, can someone stop me when it gets, like, close to the 2 hour mark? I'll probably keep it under 2 hours, just so it, like, processes instantly. Bill Gates, oh God, the dude, like, gone. Yeah, remove. Can we, like, is there a way to ban? Like, is that, no, Mason Shill, okay, yeah, how do I put user in timeout? Hide user on this channel, hide user on this channel. Yep. Like, why is there not, like, a block? Like, I don't get it. I don't, what's up YouTube? Yeah, I don't know, like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, like, why is there not the option, like, this report, remove, put in timeout, hide user. They've changed this, like, it used to, like, I'm sure YouTube used to, this is the same in the, like, the regular YouTube comments, there used to be like a block function, wasn't there? And it's like, now it's like report them, or you know, it's just, no, and remove only removes that post. It's like, no, I want to block the bastards, I want to plonk them, kill file them, you know, old school kill file, you know, plonk, the old school plonk, you know, if you saw, you know, plonk, it means somebody's put you in their plonk file. It's old school Usenet. Anyway, he's gone. Hide on channel to ban. See, why don't they call it ban? Why hide on channel? Hide on channel means that, like, to me, hide on channel means that their messages will never show up, but then they won't be told that they're banned, which can be a good thing, right? Because they're shouting into the ether, not rethinking that their comments are going up and being public, but they're not, unless they check. And so that can be a good thing. But yeah, I kind of do also want them to know that they've been blocked. It's like, yep, you're blocked, dude. Piss off. I didn't read all his messages, but yeah, what a kook. No, I don't deadlift. How much do I bench press? Not much. I'm not into heavy weights. I'm into endurance weights. So I can, like, I can bench press, you know, 35 to 40 kilos for 5 minutes continuously. You know, I can do hundreds and hundreds of reps. But I couldn't tell you what my maximum bench press is, because I don't do weights like that. I do endurance stuff. So yeah, I could, you know, my ordinary weight would be, I think 30. I normally do like 37.5 kilos for like 5 minutes, for example. I think. Timeout means they can come back. Yeah, oh, yeah, you need a proper ban hammer. Yep. Ah, if you click on the name, no. Look, they're the options to come up. There's no block. There's no block function. So that's dumb. Oh. Yeah, if you ban them, they'll come back with another account. Yeah, I guess, but there should be the option. I want the option. You know, tell me it's like ban or shadow ban, so they're not alerted that they're banned. So they keep screaming into the ether. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, John. Thank you. Homer, greetings from California. Love the channel. Can you say hi to my wife, Brittany, with 2 T's and I? Is that actually how she spells it? Hi, Brittany. Happy birthday. A few days late. So does she watch the channel? Or best bench power supply for a lab beginner? Oh, geez, I don't know. Make your own. The best one is to make your own. All those little... I've done many videos on low-cost lab power supplies. Thank you. Agi B? I don't perform any services in my lab. I make YouTube videos. I have a lot of equipment because companies keep sending me gear, you know, hoping that they'll get on a video sometime. So that's why I've accumulated all this gear, and I do comparisons and reviews and things. No, gyms aren't open here. No, gyms are still closed. I wouldn't expect gyms to open probably for another month, maybe. I'm getting real slack. I'm trying to do the home workout thing. It's not the same. It's not the same. This is why I prefer group classes. When I go to the gym, I typically do group classes. I don't like working out on my own. I'm hopeless at it. Hate it. Yeah. Yep, hundreds and hundreds. Yeah, I think I'm 37. Yeah, in a typical body pump class, for example, I don't know, you'll probably have, I don't know how many reps you'd have in your 5 minutes. A typical pump track can be anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes, let's say 5 minutes average. And how many, I don't know, can someone do the calculations if you're doing, you know, one, like, there's different, like, you know, like you'll do like a 4 count, everything's a 4 count kind of thing. So you'll have like 3 seconds up, 1 second down, and then you'll reverse that, and you'll do or 2 and 2, for example. So you'll do combinations of that. I don't know, can anyone ballpark guesstimate, back of the envelope guesstimate how many reps you'd have? I think it's probably, you know, it's 150, 200 reps for a 5 minute. Maybe not, you know, I don't know, 100 and, so it was well over 100 reps or something. Yeah, so I'd do like 37 and a half, sometimes go to 40, 40 for that. So yeah. Yeah. I probably couldn't bench press my own weight. Like I'm probably about 77 kilos. I don't think I could bench press 77 kilos. It's not something I train for. It's not something I do. It's not something I ever do. So yeah, it's just not a thing. So yeah, couldn't tell you. Speaking of fitness, what would you recommend for someone trying to get into improving fitness and losing weight? Pro engineer, turn up to the gym. You can't go 1 day a week. You can't go turn up like maybe 4 days a week. Make a commitment, 4 days a week. Something 3 is okay. I'd say like maybe 4 days a week. Make the commitment and try hard. You know, do the group classes. Don't try and do it on your own. Do the group classes. It's more motivating. Get a personal trainer if you want, you know, but that costs a lot of money generally. Join a gym, do the group classes. They're kind of addictive, and you get to hang out with other people. You know, it's just a nicer social kind of thing. And try and push yourself like, you know, the best person. Don't follow the slackers up the back. Don't stand up the back. You know, find somebody who's like the fittest. Usually it's me. Almost always it's me in the class. You know, I get people coming up to me after the class, and, you know, beginners will come in and stuff, and they'll come up to me after the class and go, how the fuck do you do that? Or a common one is, what drugs are you on? Like, seriously, because I'm like a couple of levels above most people in the class in terms of, like, I'll jump the highest, I'll lift the most weights, I'll be sprinting the hardest, I'll be, you know, in a boxing class or something, I'll be like, you know, hitting and kicking. Everyone's doing, you know, standard kicks, I'll be doing jump kicks, for example. I'll be the only one jumping when everyone else is standing still, even though you're not supposed to do that, but I take it up a level. It's just my enthusiasm level. And I get people coming up to me after the class going, you know, literally asking me what drugs I'm on, because they think I'm just doing it totally different to everyone else. Everyone else is kind of like lazy, you know, and not well, there's a lot of lazy people, but yeah, so find somebody like that. Find who's like the best, and, you know, who's the most enthusiastic in the class and hang out with them, you know, and they'll push you. So, yeah, follow them. Don't follow the slack asses. So, yeah, turn up, group classes, follow the cool kid, you know, follow the fit people. Do what they're doing. If you have moderators, they get different options. Well, shouldn't I? I'm the ultimate moderator. So yes, I am a qualified fitness instructor, for those who don't know. Yeah, walking. Yeah, do something you enjoy. Walking or rowing. Yeah, I don't know what the actual question was. Yeah, enjoyment makes it a lot easier. That's why I'm saying like the group classes. That's why I don't go in and just lift weights on my own. It's just boring as batshit, you know. She's now screaming at me in excitement. That's what she said. You're welcome, Homer. Homer's getting lucky tonight. Have I ever designed something as big as that 4-socket motherboard behind me? Physically as big? Yes, for sure. Not something with that many FPGA, like, oh, the motherboard there, or, you know, something like that. No, not something that big, like as in like sheer number of traces and stuff, but I'd say maybe half that, you know, roughly, kinda, sorta, in terms of like, you know, density and component tech and stuff like that, you know. I might have 2 or 3 large 1000-pin FPGAs like that instead of, you know, however many that's got huge numbers, right? So yeah, yeah, kind of, sorta. It's the same thing. It's just on a larger scale. What's the story of this Bitcoin halving? Is it a big deal? It can be a big deal for the price. Historically, every time the Bitcoin halving, it just means it makes it more difficult. When they halve it, it means it's more difficult to mine the Bitcoins. And in theory, the Bitcoin price is going to jump, and it always historically has. So the Bitcoin price could go up significantly in a week's time when we get the halving in. I know it's probably poor grammar, but you've changed my life for the better. Ajay, that's what I want to hear. Awesome. Yeah, start doing stuff you enjoy at the gym. You know, yeah, if you like riding a bike, if you like, you know, I got obsessed with obstacle racing. You know, for example, I go out and do the obstacle races and stuff. Well, you know, they're all stopped, all those now, and then I had to sort of stop those for a long time due to my knee and things like that, and having my knee surgery and things. But yeah, do something you enjoy. Yeah, it sucks not being able to go to the gym. I agree. Yeah, I've always preferred I almost gave up. Remember the first time I went to the gym, and it was like, man, I was the skinniest. Like, as I said, like I'm 77 kilos now, and, you know, mostly muscle. That's mostly muscle bulk. Weight. I used to, all my life, I was 55 kilos was the most I ever weighed. I'm 5'9", you know, average height. What's that, 175 centimeters or something? And yeah, I weighed 55 kilos my entire life up until I decided to go to the gym one day. And then I got a week's trial or something. And like, it was boring as bad shit. You know, I'm in there kind of sort of lifting the weights and, you know, like really puny shit. And it was just boring. And then I tried my first pump class and I was hooked. So I started doing body pump, body combat. Yeah. And yeah, that was the end of that. I've done probably over... No, it's got to be well over 5,000 body pump classes. I've been doing it for 20 years, maybe? Not sure how many years, but yeah, ever since it started in Australia. It was new back then. And yeah, I've been hooked on that. I used to do it 7 days a week. I did it 7 days a week for 10 years. So already there's 3,600 classes, right? And I've been doing it probably almost another decade on top of that at a reduced rate because I'm into other classes now. You know, I'm into, you know, boxing classes, cross-training, grid classes, and things like that. Yeah, so I do lots of different types now. I'm not just into the body pump anymore and the body combat. So they don't have body combat at my new gym. My good friend was one of my instructors. She was my instructor at the old gym I used to go to, and then when I changed gyms after I had my knee surgery, yeah, they don't do body combat at my gym anymore, so had to find something else. Should do a tear down on the AG MX70 Vision mixer. It has a lot of really high-end FPGAs. Yeah, it's just another, and a lot of analysts. I've done lots of, thank you, electrokinesis. Yeah, I've done lots of videos, like lots of like Sony gear, or what was it, the Panasonic video editor or whatever. Similar sorts of stuff. I've done quite a few videos like that. I wonder what kind of music Dave's into. If it's anything after the 1980s, I don't want to know about it. Don't want to know about it. Yes, I built that Saturn V. I've got a 3-part video series. Built that with Sagan. Like 3 one-hour videos or something. Building that with Sagan. That was a nice build. It's on the second channel, I think. No, I'm not really into climbing. No, just canyoning. I descend instead of ascend. My recent canyoning holiday, that was excellent. Thank you very much. That was the Tasmanian trip. Since then, I did a... no, I didn't release any video because it was nighttime. I did a nighttime canyoning trip to see the glowworms. That was fantastic. That was just the other month, just before the shutdowns. Just before the shutdowns got out there at night. Went nighttime hunt down the glowworms. We've talked about the micro supply, Jimmy. I won't cover it again. One-man show. Cool, he's going to go to the gym. Awesome. Oh, it's Paul Daniels in the house, is he? Glass Monster. Thank you, Glass Monster. Build a tube valve amp. Oh, I'm not into it. I don't do videos I'm not really personally interested in. Dave's drug is lead poisoning. Yeah. Yep. Explains a lot. Anyway, yeah, don't let me go over the 2 hours, people. Oh, did my connection drop? When trying to pick a linear voltage regulator, how can you tell the difference by looking at the data sheet between a switch mode regulator and a more smooth regulator? You're talking the linear regulator is the correct term for analog voltage sensing. It's easy. You look at the application. Well, usually it's the number of pins, because a switch mode regulator has to have more pins. It's got to have the switching element and various other compensation pins and things like that. A linear regulator is typically only going to be a 3 terminal voltage regulator, usually, you know, in, out, and a ground control set pin. That's typically it. There's other variations of that. But generally, yes. And then you look at the application circuit in the data sheet, and it'll typically say switching regulator or linear regulator or switching controller. It might say power supply controller. If it says controller, it's switching. If it's linear, it'll usually say linear in the title, or you can see that's a 3-pin device or whatever. Or it might be in a higher pin count package, of course. But yeah, and the application circuit will have inductors in it. Dead giveaway. If there's an inductor, that's the energy storage element of a switching regulator. I've done a really cool video. I thought this video was really cool. It's like 8-9 years old now or something, of the difference between switching and linear regulators. Maybe someone can pull up the number of the video and put a link to it. There's very little difference between a switching regulator and a linear regulator. And I was quite proud of that video back in the day. You know, it's shot old school, back in the garage. And yeah, there's actually not much topological difference between a switching regulator and a linear regulator. And people think linear switching regulators are complex. They're not. They're the same as a linear regulator. They just switch. Anyway, I thought that, anyway. Do I use any supplements for my gym activities? No, just a protein powder. I'm on a, I'm back to whey. Oh man, I've been through them all. I've been through them all. I used to use whey, the various whey ones, and then I switched to rice protein powder, but rice is too high in mercury or something, and then I switched from rice to pea protein powder, and I used to love. And then I went for a blood test at my doctor, and like just a regular routine blood draw test to see if I haven't done one for a long time, so I just thought I'd go do that. And the only thing wrong with me was my elevated what is P uric acid. I had high uric acid levels, and the doctor just said, look, I know why you've got high uric acid levels. You either drink a lot of alcohol, you eat a lot of certain types of seafood, or you eat a lot of peas. He said they're the only three things that cause high uric acid levels, apparently, which can cause gout and things like that. If your uric acid's too high, you get gout in your extremities, and it turns to arthritis. You can get arthritis and stuff like that. And I don't drink, of course. I don't eat seafood. Not into seafood. So, yep, bingo, I have concentrated pea protein powder. So, yeah, I stopped. I switched from pea I'm not going to have soy. I'm not going to turn into a soy boy. 10 minutes left. Thank you, Cliff. Thank you. 5 minutes left. All right, got to go. Almost over. Yep, thank you. And high uric acid levels. I almost went to get my blood retested after I switched back to various types of whey. And then the COVID thing happened, and of course I'm not going to go to the doctors if I don't have to. So, yep, there you go. Thank you very much, everyone. No, what is the best soldering iron? Too long. I like the Pace 80 S200 at the moment, but your mileage may vary. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining me. I'll keep it on 2 hours, so it processes straight away. Catch you next time. How do I stop this thing?